And now, please welcome your hosts, Amy and Trey Cassels.
Hello, hello.
Hey, it's Amy Cassels. We have a very special guest here today.
Very special.
Evan Cassels.
Oh.
Say hi.
I did.
Are you cheesy
Hi.
right now? Oh my gosh, are you a little embarrassed? This is funny. Like the kid who we literally could not ever get off the stage in Bake
No,
Off.
it's because I voice cracked. I don't know if anybody heard it.
Because your voice cracked?
Yeah,
you're
the second I
14.
said hi, I went like this. Hi. Hi.
Okay, Evan is 14 and he's periodically checking to make sure that his jawline is coming in okay. What was that face? If you're watching on the YouTube video, you can see some of his funny expressions here. Are you still checking that jawline every day, bud?
I can't see.
You
I
can't
saw,
see.
I saw a little peach fuzz coming in. You got a little hair coming
I
down
know.
the chin.
Are you excited?
Mr.
about
Smith's
that?
gonna make me shave.
Nice.
Mr. Smith. Oh, we could pluck that. Look at you getting a little hair on your chin.
Don't be dogging him online. It's my boy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We could probably pluck that.
But
if
Evan
you
is
wanted to.
growing up. Evan's 14 and a half. Going on like stacked 16 pretty soon.
All right. His ego's already too big, so he's not going on 16. He's 14, and he is a 14-year-old.
You know what's funny is that he's totally nervous right now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You're not talking like you normally do.
What do you want me to say?
You're on a podcast. You gotta
Okay.
just joke back and forth.
Well, we brought you on to talk about a certain topic.
Yes.
So
Okay.
there's something that you've accomplished in your life that you started at 9, and you put 4 years of hard work and dedication into. What was that?
Soo Bahk Do.
What is Soo Bahk Do?
It's a martial art.
What kind of martial art?
The one that has kicking and punching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a form of karate.
Yes, it's a form of karate.
So Soo Bahk meaning strike
Yes.
the hands.
Hand strike way.
There you go.
So in Soo Bahk, why is Soo Bahk different than some of the, without naming specifics, why is Soo Bahk different than some of the other forms of martial arts?
So we have a philosophy.
You don't think all of them have a philosophy?
Not a lot.
Okay.
What's the philosophy for Soo Bahk?
Dates back a lot. Very far.
Okay. He's a man of few words.
What is the philosophy?
Moo Duk Kwan.
Moo Duk Kwan? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what does that mean to you? What does that philosophy mean to you?
I kind of forgot what it means.
You kind of forgot.
I think it's like military virtue school.
Military virtue school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when we first, I don't know if you remember this, but when you first started karate, you went to Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And you went with Master So, which was right next door to Dad's office. And it was awesome. You had so much fun.
Uh-huh.
But things
I got to
kind
come back and go and sit in Dad's office.
Yeah.
And I would eat all their food.
But it was kind of abruptly ended because Master So decided that he liked to partake in some.
The dude came in crocked to a black belt test, and
Yeah,
it turned
you-
out to be
okay.
his 4th DWI and got deported back to Korea. Let's just be real.
Okay, well, you know what, Dad?
Wasn't really the role model we were looking for Evan.
Yeah. So we ended up pulling you out, and then it was quite a few years later that
It shut down. The place shut down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it shut
did.
down.
Well, he owned it, so he couldn't really keep it open while he was in
His
jail.
brother mastered gun, I think. I don't know.
So anyway, we ended up putting you in Montgomery Karate, which is Soo Bahk Do, and Evan did awesome in there. And we were so impressed by Soo Bahk Do because
Master Gwyn.
Master Gwen really has a strong sense of discipline there, but also a loving discipline.
Hit me a lot.
He did not
Hit me a lot,
not hit
yes.
you.
He did not hit you.
He kept you in line. He was in. This is what I loved about it, is if anybody's out there looking to do something with their child, girl or boy, it gave us another extension of us. In life, when they say it takes a village to raise a family, it truly does. And to have another extension of a man figure or an authoritative figure
that you
in
can trust.
a young man's life, especially teaching him an art of defense, which is control and discipline. Those 4 years that he was with him really molded you into the demeanor and who you are today. And I'm very thankful that you went through it.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly some of the best compliments that we get as parents for other adults who meet you is they're like, wow, your son is so confident and has so much respect. And he seems to just,
He looks you in the eye, shakes your hand.
Yes, comes right up to you, and people, like adults, love that, and that's going to take you far in life. So I'm very thankful for Soo Bahk Do to have provided that, strong foundation. I mean, plus a lot of it has to do with personality that you get from me. So,
jeez. And the discipline that he gets from me.
What? What?
Cold plunges.
Okay.
I'm very disciplined in certain things.
Yeah, we're all disciplined in our own thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a balance.
Yes, it is a balance. So
who's the better parent, Evan? Your mom or me?
ooh.
Well, let's see. Like, mom is obviously the better parent. I mean, obviously, but I would rather stay with dad.
Boom.
Like if we separated or something, you would rather go live with dad?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be fine, I guess.
I'll take you.
I mean, but you know what? Boys need their daddies, so.
Yeah, but
Wait, what?
But I remember that time when we were leaving the George R. Brown Convention Center, and he would always, and Luke was with us, and
we don't need our mommies.
Luke would say, "Hey man, we don't need our mamas," and Evan looked back at Uncle Luke and goes, "I need my mama." You were probably 4 at that time, and looking up at him, "I need my mama."
You know what? This was okay, I know we've kind of jumped around for a second, so I'm going to jump to when Evan was a baby. First off, you were attached to me, okay? You did not want me to put you down. You wanted me to hold you, and you only wanted me to hold you.
That's fair.
And up until about 3 years old, like it was just me. Like I was the love of your life, okay? Just me. And then at 3 years old, it was like one day you wiggled out of my arms and you were like, "I'm ready to fly, Mom."
Oh, yeah.
And then you
you remember that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you were just gone. And you were gone. And then you started really clinging to Dad and doing the guy stuff. And but you would still come back for those little, mom hugs, mom kisses.
Sometimes.
Which you still do.
Every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're the most affectionate person in our family. You
are.
love hugs. You're the hugger. I sometimes have to tell you no on some hugs and then I decided, you know what? That's going to go away one day. So it's like, I'll never tell you no on a hug again.
No for a hug.
Hey, I learned myself, and I told myself I would never do that again because there's going to be a day that he's not going to want to give me a hug.
This one time I'll be all muddy and everything, and you still didn't give me a hug.
Well, that's a choice to stay clean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I personally believe that nurturing you as a young boy to just cling to your mom, but also giving you the freedom when you needed it and pushing you into that freedom and confidence. Because if you were like 10 years old clinging to me, I'd be like, okay, there's a problem here, right?
Be doing that.
So I think that it made you that strong and confident young man that you are today. In addition, but having the mom, but you also being the dad, you also provided a huge and still provide a huge role that I could not fulfill with it for Evan. And so it took really both of us at different times of your life. And then the addition of adding Soo Bahk Do when we did during a time where, you were 8 years old, scrawny little kid, like flailing your arms, and you learned a form of martial arts that has such a solid structure and discipline and philosophy. I think that it was absolutely amazing for you.
Well, I love the fact now that you can defend yourself, which is important in this world. Only when you need to, though, and you've learned how to discern that. You've learned respect. You've learned discipline. You learned accountability. And you learned how to set a goal and achieve it, because it took you 4 years to get your black belt, and you did it in the time frame that it was allotted, and you worked through that plan and you accomplished it. It's a moment for your mom and I.
When you were in kindergarten, though, you used to get in trouble for not sitting still. And you would always wiggle, and you would just shake, and you would just like move all around. And a lot
of medicine for that.
I was not going to medicate you and change your personality. But what we did do was keep you very active. So after school, you were outside playing basketball. Mm-hmm. You ran to school. You walked home from school. And then you played after school.
I loved walking home from school.
I know.
That was so fun.
You remember when I would go pick y'all up on the bike and y'all would ride on the back?
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Because like Avery would ride on the back and then I would ride on the front or something.
I'll have to show you a picture of what it looked like.
Yeah.
anyway, you got that stimulation of the activity, but what you also don't realize is that we were feeding you really healthy food so that you are not full of just a bunch of sugar to feed into that like wiggleness that you have. So by the time you hit the right age where you were able to do something like Soo Bahk Do, then that got you through a lot of the discipline that you needed to just be still and hold still.
Yeah.
He's like, all I'm getting is compliments from you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's coming next?
Okay.
He goes, I feel a punishment coming on.
Okay. So, all right, I want to talk about a few things of what's new and good in our life right now. Oh, yeah, it's a game. What's new and good?
Oh,
Does
okay.
that sound? I need like a music to that. Like, what's new and good?
No.
Right now, we have a new toy at our house. Go ahead, Trey. Tell them about your new toy.
It's more of a family toy. It's not just mine.
I use it too.
It's pretty much yours. You wanted it.
I use it too.
It's cold plunge. Freaking love it. That's about it.
Keep talking. We are on a podcast. You got to elaborate.
So Jordan Winar, my brother-in-law, he is doing the Leadville 100, where he's going to take a mountain bike and ride 100 miles on a mountain bike in the elevation of Leadville, Colorado. Crazy. And in the process of doing that, he needed something for recovery. And a friend of his, Steven, started making these cold plunges because they're all the cold plunge. Crinzy went out there, and then there's tons of different brands, tons of different ones. Well, he ended up making his own with the Grizzly cooler and an amazing chiller and a cool filtration system. And I tried it over at Jordan's house and loved it. I never felt the dopamine dump that I had like that. I never felt the inflammation just disperse from my body and the energy that I got off of it. And so within a week of having trying his, I got with Steven and ended up buying one myself. And we got it in last week, and we've done it 8 days in a row for 3 minutes a day, and it's been absolutely amazing. I love it.
I stuck my elbow in it.
Yeah, you're such a pansy.
Good job.
I'm a biggest pansy. Yeah. I actually did almost twist/spring my ankle, and it was hurting really bad. And so I just stuck my foot in there for a minute.
You told me you stuck it in there for 10 seconds.
No, it was about 60 seconds. No, it was about a minute. Yeah.
Good
I doubt that.
I know it was just my foot, but I did it, and it did actually help. So I imagine if somebody were to,
well, there was somebody
their whole body.
that did decide to do it with me, and I do have a recording of it.
Stop. We're not doing that.
So I figured that we would go ahead and maybe play that. So that whole experience was about 12 seconds, and then he ended up staying in there for 2 minutes after he calmed down and breathed. That's the beauty of this is once you're done with the shock, in that moment, all you can focus on is your breath. And it literally takes everything else away.
Well, let me ask you this. How cold is the cold plunge?
57 degrees.
I had it set at 55.
Okay. And so
it'll go all the way down to 39.
39 degrees.
Have not chosen to do that yet.
Will you ever?
I'm baby stepping into this.
Okay,
too.
So when you hop in, what does it feel like at first?
It's an absolute shock to your body. It takes all the oxygen out of you, and you're just literally going, and then you have to continuously focus on one thing, and that's your breath. And by focusing on your breath, it takes every and any thought that could be racing through your head out the window, and the only thing you have going on in your mind is your breath. And so you kind of become one with that because you're not wanting to think about anything else other than how to get through that particular moment. And then it all starts to calm down. The heart rate starts to slow. You just start to sit in there and relax. And then while you're sitting in there relaxing, the therapeutic part comes in, and that's where you just push through the uncomfortableness of now your hands and different parts of your body starting to ache a little bit because of the cold. It doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable. And when you get out, you feel like $1 million. You feel absolutely amazing.
It hurts at first.
So the 8th time is a lot different from the first time. It does get better. It does get easier. But one of the main accomplishments is it's when you're struggling, or if you have depression or anxiety, or you're fighting to try and do something that is hard, you can overcome it very quickly by doing a plunge because it changes your attitude on what's hard. Because when you accomplish that, you're like, dude, I just did something I can't stand, I hate, and I made it through for 3 minutes. I'm about to conquer this day. Mm-hmm. So it makes you, in my mind, it makes me invincible that I can get up and go do whatever I need to do because I've done something very difficult.
So what do you know about burning brown fat?
I mean, I don't know all the scientific crap on it, but it's not crap. It's actually very well documented, but there's white fat cells and there's brown fat cells. And without butchering it, the brown fat cells, when they burn off, they release mitochondria. And mitochondria is what feeds your own cells for energy and for recovery. When you're in the cold plunge,
I had gluten yesterday.
It's said to, actually, I ate a whole thing of Tic Tacs on the way over here. So
he was chugging them down too.
So good.
He kept going like
crackhead. I ate a whole thing of Tic Tacs.
Well, you can't just have one. It's a tick and a tack, and you just pop them.
No, he was going
but you did have gluten yesterday. That's why you're all phlegmy.
Listen. So the brown fat cells, when they get cold, they are released. It has something to do with the mitochondria that's released.
Interesting.
And it helps to create energy, reduce inflammation, push out inflammation in your blood cells, and it's great for recovery.
So could I get in there like from the waist down, where all my brown fat is probably?
I think that you say you can't do that, or you would never be able to do that, or there's no way. And I think that's just a mental block. I think anybody can get in this if they just step in and breathe. It's literally that.
Not Mom.
No, she could do it.
Okay, but you have to understand, I don't get into the pool until mid-May.
Yeah, but you got to understand, you have the ability to get into a scalding hot bath like it's no big deal.
No.
Yeah.
I can't get into the same temperature of hot water that you get into, but I still get into it by easing in. With you and cold, you just haven't broken through that mental barrier of what you think it is versus the reality of what it is. It's cold. It sucks, but you can get in there if you have to.
I'm just laughing because I remember whenever I had taken a bath one time, and then I think Avery had gotten in after me, and then my sister was in town, and then after Avery went in, Avery was really little, and then I guess Trey was like, "I'm gonna get in now," and my sister goes,
I was the third one in the bath.
My sister goes, "What is the matter with y'all? Are you poor? Like, your dad gets the last bath?" Because that's what they did in the old days.
Everybody bathes before pops.
I took a shower.
Yeah, Evan would never do that.
I was just being lazy. I didn't care.
We're close.
Because there's a bunch of hairs probably floating around in that bathtub. And then, like, you know how you can lift up your hand and there's just like a long hair wrapped around your fingers.
You have a massive phobia of hair.
Yes.
How are you going to be
hair and gum?
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to make her...
You're going to make her? Okay.
Bath.
That's a great way to start out a relationship.
No, but like, imagine you're in the bathtub, right?
Tell me how that goes.
So but what if your wife one day has long hair and then you accidentally just brush up against the shower
Well, listen
wall?
to the army together. She'll get a buzz cut.
Oh, please.
No, I'm kidding. But no, like, imagine you're in a bathtub or like in a pool and you lift up your hand. There's just a long brown hair wrapped all around your hand.
Just take it off and then you put it down.
That's nasty. I don't want to touch that.
Let's talk about gum.
Evan has
I hate gum.
Evan has a phobia with hair
and gum.
And what was the other thing? Whenever your fingers
if I'm like in the
hands.
pool or something and my fingers get all wrinkly, I have to like keep my
you
fist.
clench them.
Because like I don't like the feeling of how
What's strange though is you can literally be in the pool for less than 10 minutes and get pruny and get out and never get back in, but you could be out on the lake for hours.
That's just because I deal with it. And most of the time, if I'm out on the lake,
that's all I need to know.
I'm wakeboarding.
Thank you.
I'm wakeboarding, or I'm tubing. Like whenever we were at the cable park yesterday, once I got out of the water and stuff, I had like my hands clenched for at least 30 minutes.
Did anybody notice?
No, you're ready to hit somebody?
No, nobody looked at me. I looked like I was ready to fight.
That nobody looked at you?
But really, you're just ready to fight the prune.
That was bad.
I thought it was so good.
Thank you. That was pretty bad.
That was bad.
I thought it was good. Okay, so I don't get a turn.
Amy, what's new and good with you?
Oh, thanks for asking.
I heard you went and saw someone.
Well, I did. So a therapist needs a therapist, a coach needs a coach, and a personal trainer sometimes needs a personal trainer. So I decided to hire a trainer, and I've never done that before in this way. I did have a trainer once, but it was for like kind of like a trial thing. Like we did like, a month, and we just started out working out. So with this, I actually sat down with him. We discussed when I can work out, when I can't work out, my goals that I have, my nutritional limitations, maybe for things that I'm allergic to or have intolerances to. And then we discussed, how my body responds to exercise and how I've been working out in the past.
So he did to you what you do to others.
Pretty much. And it was nice to have somebody pay attention to me. It was great. And he is actually using the program that I've been building for whenever I take on some online clients for health coaching and fitness coaching. So we're using this app, and he communicates with me through there and then sends me my meal plan. And then I'm in a group with a bunch of people, and all of our workouts get posted like on this little feed. So I don't have to go through Facebook, because there's a lot of people that do groups on Facebook, and it's
exhausting.
It's exhausting because you go on there to look at one thing, and then 30 minutes later you've watched some documentary
so this
video.
just keeps you focused on that task at hand?
It just, yes.
The ADD, I guess, social
It's not
surfers.
ADHD, or ADD. It's actually scientifically proven that when you get on Facebook, the scroll, the act of you scrolling is addictive. Okay. So anyway, having the app has been amazing, and I've been able to just really focus on what I'm doing in this one little spot. And the other part that I thought was really amazing was I know how to check how many calories I need in a day based on fat loss or muscle gain. I know how to determine my macros, my protein, my carbs, my fat, and I even know how to time them throughout the day. However, what I wasn't doing was making a meal plan that I felt comfortable with for me. I would always question it. So I always
or change it.
And I also wouldn't.
I'm going to go pay money to have this built out for me. And then when you get it, it's like, yeah, I'm going to tweak that, change that, alter that. There we go. Now it's right for me.
Yeah. Well, this time I didn't do that. Maybe it's because I'm more disciplined in my 42 years age. So I took his meal plan, and it was actually not hard to make all the food. I basically have, for my protein sources this week, were eggs, chicken, and steak. If I wanted to take out a chicken, half the amount of chicken, and do, alternate with turkey, I could have done that. If I wanted to mix it up with steak and with maybe do salmon, because salmon's fatty, steak is fatty, right? I could have done that. But I decided to keep it simple and just make a bunch of eggs and vegetables, and then make a bunch of chicken, and then make a bunch of steak. And I made all that food on Sunday while Trey and I watched a movie, and then all the vegetables, and then
what movie did we watch?
I made my carb source. We'll get into that in a second. Yeah, the movie that Trey and I chose. So
what movie?
You know what? I don't know if we should talk about that in front of Evan.
No. You already started.
Okay, I'll tell you in a second. So then I made all the vegetables that I needed, all the carb sources. I kept everything in the fridge, and then either the night before or the morning of, I would pull my stuff out and then do my individual portions of what I needed to have for the day. I can't tell you how many times that I was hungry and I forgot that I had my food prepped, and I went to go in the pantry to just grab a snack. Instead of, because I didn't want to,
conditioned to do that.
I didn't want to stop, because I didn't want to stop what I was doing to sit there and go cook something, prep something. So I would feel that hunger come on, and I want to go grab, some macadamia nuts, some cashews, or some crackers, or beef jerky, or something, like some sort of snack to hold me over because I felt hungry. And I would start to go to do that. And then I'd catch myself and be like, wait a second. I prepped all my food. My next meal
I'm ready.
is in the fridge. So all ready to go. Open it up, grabbed it, put it in the microwave, heated it up, ready to go. And then I ate it, and then I'd be satisfied. So if you look at the volume of food, and I posted a reel on my Instagram page, if you look at the volume of food that I made, it looks like a lot of food, but it's not. It's actually only about 1,650 calories.
That surprised the crap out of me because it was five of those to-go bins just full of chicken and vegetables and a carb. And I'm like, how is that only 1,600 calories? It's like 4,000.
That is the reason why is because he increased the fiber. There's a lot of fiber there. So
to break down that protein.
So, well, just to help you feel full, to help with digestion, and yes, to help with the breakdown of the protein. But when you're going from what I was eating, which was a bunch of concentrated, smaller foods, high fat snacks and stuff throughout the day, I needed to be able to eat to satisfy me through. So that's whenever you're like, okay, what am I going to get the most bang for my buck? I could go take 20 grams of a protein bar and eat it, but I will get fuller if I had 20 grams worth of chicken breast.
Yeah.
So there are just so many times this week that I went in there and I went to go just snack, and I realized, oh my gosh, my food is in the fridge, and I ate it, and I felt full and satiated. Now, as I
felt what?
Satiated. You never heard that word?
It's a nice word.
I've never heard that in my life.
Satiated means that you've been kept full. You're satisfied.
Why don't you say satisfied?
Because satiated is the proper word for when you're referring to nutritional
Well,
fullness.
you have a 14-year-old and that guy.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of dumb it down for us.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that next time.
Thanks, Evan. Appreciate that.
Anyway, it takes habit. Now, as I lift weights, he told me that my weight training, we're just going to keep it at 2 days a week right now. And based on the workout that he put me through yesterday, that I did on my own, I definitely need about 2 days max of that right now until my body can then process the workout that I just did. Otherwise, I would be under too much inflammation. And we've talked about inflammation and stress a lot through our podcast episodes. You don't want your workouts to stress you out so much. You have to slowly build up. So
I have an option for you.
What?
Cold plunge.
No, thanks.
Yes.
And as far as cardio,
It helps with inflammation.
I asked him, I said, so what about cardio? And I'm expecting him to be like, okay, you need to do a 20-minute HIIT training, like get your heart rate up. And I'm thinking, I'm dreading what he's about to say. But he actually said, well, what do you do now? And I said, I go rollerblading, bike riding, or walking, things like that. And he said, yeah, how long do you go for? And I said, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. And he goes, that's perfect. Just keep doing that. And I was like, well, hold on a second. So it's okay to just elevate my heart rate just a little bit and then go for a 45-minute walk. I don't have to do this crazy HIIT training. And he said, no, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. And I was so happy and thankful for that.
So if we're going to go on a walk now, can we normally just walk instead of this power walk stuff?
Oh, no. He said your heart rate still needs to get into about zone 3.
Oh, I'm a zone 1 guy.
Trey, you are literally so slow that my grandmother at 95 years old.
I'm not trying to get exercise in. I'm just trying to have some quality time.
Well, then if you're not trying to exercise, you can't come with me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
You just follow her on the golf cart.
Dad did do that. He followed me on the golf cart while I rollerbladed.
Lacey.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like doing nothing that day.
Yeah.
Why did you go with her then?
Because Joy only makes it about a mile, and then she'd have to turn around and bring Joy back. So
Just play ball
me
with
and
Joy.
Joy just hung out.
No, Joy has to go for a walk.
Had the cool breeze in my face with the music going, watching her exercise. It was nice.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay, so the movie that we decided to watch while our children were gone, our kids were gone, they went down to Mimi and Poppy's and had a wonderful time. So thank you, Mimi and Poppy, for bringing our kids down there. This is a tradition that all the kids do every year. 5 kids now go down there.
We watched Old Yeller.
I know.
Oh,
Y'all
the
watched
best-
it so many times.
best
Y'all been going
dog
down there
on
since
dog
you
on
were
the
4.
And Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris
Bueller's.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That movie was so funny. I
Don't
seen
even
it.
try
That was the
any of
second
that
time
crap.
I seen it.
That was one of my favorite movies.
I've already
growing up.
done it.
And then what about the play? Tell us about the play that y'all went to.
Well, we were supposed to go. So my grandma texted us to go to like to bring like a super nice pair of clothing and stuff. So I was like, okay, sweet, this is my chance. I had just bought in some new shoes.
This is my chance.
It's my chance to wear my new shoes. I had just bought some new shoes, Jordan 4 Thunders, black and yellow colorway, and but I had bought in them, and I was excited.
Bought them.
Whatever.
You purchased them.
I purchased
Mimi will
them, and I
slap
was
you.
excited to wear them. And so I was like, okay, sweet, I'm gonna wear them to like this super nice play because I figured everybody was gonna be dressed up. So I had like these nice jeans, this nice button up, and a white shirt underneath. And so we went there, and there were just these people just dressed up in shorts and a t-shirt. I was like, Mimi, what's going on? And she's like, don't look at them. They're not dressed up as much as us. I was like, okay. She didn't say like don't look at them. She was like just don't pay attention. And I was like okay. And so we went into the play, and for about the first hour, it was just children singing along and dancing, and there was a freaking 15-minute tap dance. And I was like, when is the play gonna start? We were told that this was gonna be a Broadway, like some sort of Broadway adult acting play. We get on, there's like 5-year-olds playing Beauty and the Beast. We're just like, what?
How was that tap dance? Were you just like
Long? I didn't even. I mean, at the point of like 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, are you done?
Well, what I like is that all of y'all, all 5 of you, and Mimi and Poppy got dressed up and had a formal evening out at a play, regardless of what it was about. Yeah. That was the experience.
We did eat at a very nice restaurant.
Nice.
Well, not really nice. It just tasted good.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you guys went down there.
Anyway, movie time.
Yeah. So Dad and I had a lot of fun while you guys were not home.
We had a blast.
What does that mean?
We had fun with y'all not there. We didn't have to worry about taking y'all anywhere, feeding y'all, getting you up, doing anything for you.
Yeah,
it was
y'all
freedom.
Feed y'all didn't make a mess in our kitchen.
So nice.
You're like getting offended while talking about this,
like. And then whenever the Dama leaves, it stays clean. I mean, it was just amazing. Why did y'all come back?
Because I had football practice. I don't know about the other guys.
No, we had a good time when you guys were gone because we had free time and it was quiet and it was wonderful. But in the beginning, we were like, what do we do? I mean, we were seriously lost. We did not know what to do. We were so...
For about
Dad knew
15,
exactly
20 minutes. Then we figured it out real quick.
Dad knew exactly what to do.
What?
I had plenty of things.
Chill.
Yeah. Well...
Play golf. Did you go play golf at all?
No.
Why?
So, well, let me get back to the movie.
Spend time with your mom.
Yeah.
What movie did y'all watch?
So we watched American Pie.
Oh, I love that movie.
What?
What?
Such a good movie. It's so funny too.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Where?
When?
At Alan's house.
What? You're kidding. You better be kidding.
What's wrong with it?
Are you
Evan
kidding me right
Cassels, you are full of crap.
No, I know. I'm dead serious.
Evan,
Why?
did you watch that movie?
What movie are y'all thinking of?
American Pie from
Give me-
1999?
What's the sequel? Or like, what's the thing?
They're all in high school and they're all trying to get laid before prom.
Oh yeah,
What is wrong with you?
that was a good movie. It's pretty funny.
Evan, are you kidding right now?
Y'all are so gullible.
Oh my gosh. Evan,
Yes.
you did not see that movie.
No, I haven't.
Okay, listen. That movie is...
It's not appropriate for you.
Well, listen, that movie is completely inappropriate. And one day you can watch that movie, but you don't need to watch it right now.
So why are we talking about it?
Yeah. Well, Trey and I were actually uncomfortable watching it. So they were all my age in that movie. They're portraying, it came out
Her senior year.
my senior year. And they were all the class of 99.
Tara Reid.
And watching that movie and seeing how they were, and so like,
Did you relate?
no, I did not relate. Jeez, this kid. So anyway, it was just Trey and I were like, I'm really uncomfortable right now. And then Stifler's mom, whenever he asked if she had a scotch, and she was like, yeah, it's 18 years old, just the way I like it. And we're like, oh, pedophile. I mean, a lot of that stuff would not go on to, like, we would not be okay with it today. So anyway.
The 90s.
Yeah, geez.
It's one of a kind.
So that's the movie that we watched, and then we watched Suits, which I thought was all right, I guess.
I'm trying to get you into
They're just sitting down talking the whole time.
What?
In suits.
I know.
I mean, there's a couple of walking scenes, but other than that,
It's an intellectual movie, so I can probably understand why you guys aren't getting it.
I
liked
get it.
Quarterback. Quarterback was so good.
I get it. I just
The review team.
your brain can only handle so much information in a day, so I'm careful about what I choose to download into it. Is really the reality of it. But the bottom line is that we had a really good time without the kids. I did miss you guys a lot, though, and I was ready for you to come back. And then you came back, and then I was like, well,
Avery came back. I was fine.
Right.
No, you've been sus since you've been back.
Yeah. Totally not even.
Definitely not lit.
Not after that word, we're done.
Okay. So to our listeners, right now it's the end of summer. We're about to start school. We are going to Colorado next week to watch our brother-in-law do the Leadville race. We're going to have our one and only family vacation. It was not the best timing, but we're going to do it.
What do you mean?
We're leaving on Monday and we're going to Colorado. We're going to hike and we're going to go to Vail. So you'll see pictures on Instagram. I'll post that of our family vacay. And then we're going to get ready for school. We're going to take a few weeks off before season 3 of According to the Cassels comes out. So as you get back into school and we get back into school, we're going to take just a few weeks off to kind of reset and get our plans for the fall. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed the season. And we love you and we appreciate you following along and listening and letting us share our lives with you.
Guess you got to be as crazy as us to listen to us. So thanks for being our people.
Evan, thanks for joining us on our
You're welcome.
Closeout of season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm just special.
Yes, you are special.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll see y'all in season 3 coming soon.
Thank you
Bye.
for listening to According to the Cassels.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of According to the Cassels with Amy and Trey. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. To stay up to date with the Cassels, follow Amy on Instagram at @acassels. Until next time, have faith, enjoy life, and love abundantly.